You're to witness
recording is
something monumental.
It is fucking beautiful.
Nice.
One thing I want to discuss, and that's something that I've seen with folks that have taken multiple force classes. That usually comes up very early on with people that do the games, you know, be it airsoft or paintball or whatnot, and it's gaminess in your approach. But you know, I'm assuming with most of you having taken some kind of a force training, you've been hit with those rounds, right? So there's no longer novelty of this overwhelming fear of, oh my God, how it's gonna feel, right? What happens when people become kinda used to it, they become gamey and they're willing to take risks and so on, that I doubt you would do it if it was real, right? Because most of you, I'm assuming, have not been shot with a real bullet, right? And I'm assuming most of you don't want to have the first experience of it, right? I would hope so. I would hope you have enough IQ not to want to experience that. A lot of dudes seem to become a little bit more daring, especially after numerous classes. Through training and repetition, what you develop habits. Okay? And it's very dangerous if that gaminess continues for prolonged time, taking class after class after class, that it will transfer into your real life engagement because it will become habitual. And then you'll fucking die. Try to control that exhilaration, that fun of, you know, shooting each other. Okay, realize that this can be replaced with stuff that absolutely removes any fun factor whatsoever. We're kind of gonna immerse into the very basic attributes and skills. What I think is necessary attributes to be in the gunfight, not in the shooting, in the gunfight. You can be involved with fire exchange, bullet exchange with another person. There's a difference between shooting and gunfight. Okay, was the event at the church in Texas, what is it, a couple years ago, was it a shooting or a gunfight? It was a shooting. It was a shooting. Because the person, the bad guy, he did not directly engage the guy who took him out. The current, you know, the most famous event of the past, whatever, however many months, the mall thing in Indiana, right? Was it a gunfight or was it a shooting? It was a shooting. Why? Because the bad guy, again, was not directly engaging or targeting the good guy who took him out. His attention was elsewhere. Okay? These were lucky situations, although a lot of folks in gun communities try to present it as this is the gunfight. No, it's a shooting. Most of police incidents, are they gunfights or are they shootings? They are shootings. Most of them are shootings and not gunfights. Just because another guy has a gun and fires a gun, unless you are the target, you are not in a gunfight. You are in the middle of a shooting. And if you pick the right time, or, you know, people now show the video from an eatery in Houston, right? Where the guy was robbing people, and as he walked by the elderly gentleman, he pulled the gun and smoked the fool, right? Was it a gunfight or a shooting? It was straight up shooting, right? 95% of the events that folks refer to as gunfights are not gunfights. It takes a different skill set than shooting. I think this is one of the important little moments where a lot of folks in our industry have a little bit of a confusion defining what they are training for. And I think lack of clear definition is what makes a difference in the structure of training. I mean, this is obviously something, morality, spirituality based. Are you willing to walk away from a slaughter? You walk away, right? It's none of my business. Okay? But remember, you're going to have to sleep with yourself and wake up with yourself. Okay? If you are to call yourself a protector, pat yourself on the back and fucking proclaim yourself to be a warrior and on and on and on, that includes aspects of morality and duty. Although we are not sworn in any way, shape, or form, but there is somewhat of a swearing to the morality and what is fucking right. Yes? And again, you can say that it's none of my business, why would I get involved? And walk away. And there are situations and there are places to do so. Okay? But I'm going to ask an open-ended question. You don't have to answer. How many of you would have that kind of attitude if you walk into McDonald's and you see the guy going to, it's like some McDonald's have little playgrounds for the kids, and you see some fucker walk in and start wasting kids? It's none of your business. You're close to the door. Would you walk away? So what is the difference if it's not kids? His life is life. It's
perceive children is innocent
and more defenseless, right? How do you think Johnny Schmo in McDonald's is more capable to defend himself than that child? Most of them
could very well be that person is just as innocent, but
it could be also well be that he's the father of 3 of the kids in that play.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So you have to make that decision. I'm not calling for high fucking morals. I'm not calling for you to become, a dedicated hero. Okay. What I'm saying is that sometimes in training, the way instructors present it, it becomes too much. Just close your fucking eyes and dash. I mean, trust me. Whether you kill or you walk away from the killing and do nothing about it, you will fucking sleep with it and wake up with it. There is something that will remind you of it, almost something external, almost like a voice outside of you. Okay? And something for yourself, individually, personally, to consider and think about and kind of go like, is this my game? Is it worth playing? And it's scary. And it's scary because you're stepping into something that is not your game, and you willingly, consciously making a decision, you will become a big part of this game. And it all happens in a very compressed time frame. Okay? But it does have the consequences of morality, it does have consequences, whatever you want to call it, spirituality, and it will have consequences on your mental health going forward. And I'm not saying it mental health in current terms, the way fucking society uses. I'm saying it in very real terms. It will fuck with your mind, as it should. So there's a lot of cool phrases out there. When in doubt, whip it out. Don't go to ATM. Don't, you know what I mean? None of your fucking business. You know what I mean? Split, and all that stuff. Taken out of context all by themselves, they're cool and they're memorable and they may have an impact in conversation. Even the little component of coolness, the little component of a tough guy. This is very real life. You know what I mean? And as you know, through a lot of our life, we go somewhat cosplaying life. Because what we do on the outside, what we say to the others, how we interact with others, it is a little bit different than your internal inner dialogue, isn't it? Most of the time it is. Most of the time we're not as honest on the outside as we are on the inside. Why? Why is it? Do you think we present outward a better image of ourselves, or do we have a better image of ourselves inward? Conversation that goes here versus conversation that gets put out. Which one do you think is more likable, more admirable person? the one that we put out. We want to be seen as better than what we are. Do you take the same approach to training? What I can do, what I want people to see what I can do versus that internal dialogue, what I am. Do you think there's a difference there? How significant is it? You can be honest or you can keep your mouth shut. I really don't care. This is for you to answer to yourself. I don't need those answers because I have them for myself.
So I consider, always in classes, you're like going too fast, trying to like show off, be the first one to draw, be the first one to target. And
There's always that comparative shit going on, right? What others do with that, how you're gonna be seen, how you're gonna be graded. Yeah, there's artificiality in
If I
training.
get in a gunfight the day after the class.
I mean, come on, guys. You're here for 3 days and you know what you're here for.
Right.
Do you think it's different that 3 a.m. 6 months from now in your bed?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know what you're here for. 6 months from now, you in the bed after a nice blowjob and shot of fucking whiskey. You don't have the same fucking sharpness of mind and that, your cells of your body, they kind of prepared for this, little fucking rumble, right? You don't have that. Okay? But it comes at you like that. Out of the fucking blue.